What's up, galera? It's Hey, what you gonna go strong? Today I'm talking about how much you should be playing in the Roda. Let's talk about Roda time. So, this question actually comes from one of our subscribers, Dentista. Thanks, man. Keep them coming. I'm gonna go ahead and read. Thanks for the videos. Great work. I've been doing Capoeira since 2016, and it's been great. In regard to the Roda, how often do you have them? And at your academy, pre-COVID, ours were once a week. How can beginners find more time to play in the Roda? In my experience, the highest ranking members always start. And then the mid/advanced students, followed by a brief time for beginners. And those games seem to last about 15 to 30 seconds. And by that time, the advanced students have rotated back in from the instruments and things finish up. Is this common amongst groups? Also, any advice for new students who want to play more totally different style? But in BJJ, as a new student, you can get several rounds of 5-minute sparring. Anyways, thanks for the videos. Obrigado. So the quick answer is you're just going to have to cut in front. Pretty much given respect, given respect, you know what I mean? Like, you can't cut in front of, super high chords, but there's always going to be slackers, people who are out of shape. You could jump and run in front of them. So I'm going to give you about 5 tips, okay, to go ahead and to play more in the Roda. So wait till the end, I'm going to give you those. I'm going to first talk about, as far as the Roda time and about, like, how often in general groups do. Okay, so like I said, as much as possible. Now, my story is when I first started coming up, 2006, in San Antonio, Texas, was Mestre Advogado. He was I think a second level graduado back then, and he quickly became, soon after became a monitor. Anyway, we would train for an hour, beginner's class. They had a separate fundamentals class. We would go level 1, and then we would play at every single class that we would go to. And at that time, he had us limited to twice a week because he had so many students. He had the other group come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, while we were Mondays, Wednesdays. But anyway, the fundamentals class was an hour, fundamental training, all the fundamentals, and then we would have a 30-minute Roda every single class. So it was an hour and a half of training, and that was the best. That really got you. But that's not really feasible for everybody, especially if you don't own your own studio. And even if you do own your own studio, then if you're being successful, if you have a lot of students, you can't let it rattle on for an hour and a half unless you have it structured in a certain way. Yet people have kids, people have dinner to get to. That type of thing, you know what I mean? They got stuff they got to do. They can't be hanging out to your academy like as if you were in Brazil or something. So that's the way I came up. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Nah, just playing. That's pretty much like the best way to do it. Now, I was 30 pounds overweight. I got myself in shape. I had a son. He was a newborn baby, and so that was my time. I would stay home with him all day. I would work at night, and then like 2 days during the week, I would take off and train capoeira at night, and I waited tables during that time before I got my professional job. So that's the best way, but that's not for everybody. Some people already had an infant. He wasn't doing anything. He was in the crib. He was getting ready for bed. He wasn't really doing anything. Some people have active kids' lives. 6, 7, 8-year-olds. They got activities. We got dinner. We got to make. So I know that's not feasible. So that's my story. Now let me tell you the next part. What I believe. And I've always asked my master this, and we've always talked about other groups and how often do they have Rodas, so this is perfect. So he would always tell me that there was weekly Rodas, and also Dentista also had alluded to that also in his comment. So weekly is good. That means you train your hour for class twice a week or 4 times, however long it is, 2, 3 times, 4 times a week. You do all the stuff that's necessary, esquivas, bensals, your ginga, all your bait, your takedowns, your partner work, your drills, your warm-ups. That's all important stuff. You can't get away from not doing that. And then they have a Roda at the end of the week. So we've talked about this with me and my master during, when I was coming up. I was like, what's the best way? This is a great question. And so here's the pros. The pros are that you get to train your full hour in class, and you have a semi-regular exposure to playing in the Roda. You're sparring, your moves, being in the Roda, having kicks thrown at you, dodging, and you counterattacking them, or escaping in style, or working on your acrobatic moves in the Roda. So the cons against it, is that you do have to wait. There's a lot of time in between the Roda. You had a whole week, and you don't really get exposed. But you will get like a lot of reps. So in that Roda at the end of the week, usually people have like an hour to 2 hour Roda. Everyone's playing. You get a lot of games. So that's okay. So the bad part is that it's not as frequent as you would like it. So that's a weekly. Now, let me talk about daily short ones. This is what we do currently. And this is what I think some of the real successful or busy, I would say, people that have a full studio full of capoeira students, you don't have that time to do that. So what we do is we do a Roda every single class, but it's just a small one. So we run our whole thing. We run warm-ups, acrobatic warm-ups, partner work, or curriculum, whatever it happens to be, for the class. And then the last 10 minutes, we'll take 5 minutes for music and 5 minutes for a Roda, or we'll take an extra 5 minutes. But it's no more than 15 minutes, as far as 5 minutes for music and then 10 minutes for a Roda. Every single day. Now, obviously, it's not enough. You get 1 game to 3 games. 1 game to 3 games, per person. And, if we take a little bit longer, you can get more. And so you're going to have to cut Dentista or everyone else out there to play more. Anyway, that's the week. That's the daily. It's what we do. A small daily one. The pros are that you get it every single day, very consistent. You get that scoop of food, with your fundamentals. You get your rice and your beans together, okay? And the bad part is that you don't get a big long Roda. You only get to play 1 to 3 times, okay? Now, I'm going to integrate that with monthly. Some groups do only monthly end of the month Rodas or beginning of the month Rodas or the monthly Roda, and they just train all the time. This is very bad. But it keeps you thirsting, hungry for that Roda. And you get to train a lot of partner work, and partner work is very important, and building strength is very important, and learning the basics is very important. You know me, I'm all about fundamentals. So what we do is we have a combination of both. We run daily Rodas, small ones, and then at the end of the month we run a big hour to 2 hour Roda, where you get to play, several times, a dozen times. So the cons is that you just have to wait. You don't get it a lot of times. But the pros is that once you do wait, and you go to that Roda, you're going to play several times, maybe a dozen times, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to give you some tips as we wind up this video. Okay, so I'm going to give you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips, okay, to play more in the Roda. The first one is you're just going to have to cheat. You're just going to have to cut. Like I said in the beginning, you're just going to have to cut. Some people are going to be slagging. Some people are going to be tired, so you just got to step in front of them. Of course, respect given. You always got to ask for the bensao. You always got to ask for the blessing. That way, you can do it legitimately and not piss someone off or disrespect someone. But everyone should be okay. What we call as training Rodas is that you get in there. They don't do a live Roda. We put the MP3 on and we just go at it. Boom, boom, boom. And so there's a lot of different ways you could do that. Separate Rodas all over the place, and they put just the music on, and everybody's getting it, and you're switching it from Roda to Roda. That's one solution. I know it's not live music. Live music is always the best. The live bateria, do what you can. Number 2, once you've got your baseline, you need to count. You need to count how many times you play in the Roda. Once you've done that, you're going to increase that. So this number 2 is counting and increasing. Okay, so it's kind of 2 for 1 in this one. I'm going to add an additional one. So counting how many times you win the Roda. So if you have a 5-minute Roda every class and you've bought it once, okay, or you get it in 1 to 3 times, then you're going to need to increase that the next week. Try to buy the game and be more aggressive, and try to get in 3 to 5 times, okay, or whatever. So if you're in a weekly Roda and you play regular 5 times, then you're going to try to increase that by 1 to 2 more times. You're going to try to play 7 to 9 times. That type of thing. So that's one way, but you have to keep count. You can't track you can't improve what you don't track. Okay, number 3. You're going to have to play outside of class. This means get together with your buddies. If you only have classes twice a week or 3 times a week, find some time to train with some of your buddies who are going to want to train and run the Roda. Do a Roda. Put the MP3 on and just play. I've heard some people use, they do this all the time, playing one-on-one for like 10 minutes. They're dead tired. But you run out of, pretty much you're going to realize that you run out of moves, and you're going to have to be more creative and learn more stuff. And you kind of learn by doing. Okay, so that's tip number 3, is train outside of class and do Rodas. And a tip on that is, I want to say that number 4 is record it. When you record it and you see yourself like, man, I sucked on this, or my hand is low and this guy's counter kicking me when I do this move, it's going to be invaluable. And me me, Animado, Tarzan, Caminhão, some of the guys when we were first coming up, they would record all the time. When I started hanging out with them and training with them, it was invaluable. He would post a footage on YouTube, and I'd be like, oh man, I suck here, or oh, I liked what I did there. So it's invaluable. Record it. That's tip number 4. Just to add it in to play more, so that when you do play, you learn you watch the timing, how to buy, how to stay protected. It just improves you. Okay? And the final tip, go to rodas, events, batizados, so that you can get some outside playtime also, even as a beginner. Now, if you watch my etiquette video, I'll put the link in the, I'll pick up there in the card, and in the description. Always ask permission to go somewhere if you don't know. There's people out there that are not friendly with your group, you know, and you come in to visit them, and even though you've asked permission, it's a trap, and they're going to come beat you up. I mean, there's some of these old tactics that are still being used out there, even here in the United States and outside of Brazil. Okay, so those are your tips. Number 1, let me just quick review. Okay, number 1 is to cut. 2 is count and increase by 10 to 20%. 3 is play outside of class. 4 is to record it. And 5 is to go to rodas events and batizados, so that you can play more against different people. Okay, so that's all I have. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Dentista. Leave a comment, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, check out some of the Jenga gear below on our Teespring. We've got some sweet mugs, and we got some sweet hats. So check advantage of those. Take my free course. It's down below. I'll put the link in the description. And we also have the 12 days of Capoeira Christmas. So check those links out below. We're doing some super stuff. We're going to have a great 2021. We're going to end the year in a bang. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Take the 90-second Capoeira quiz. And take my free course below. And grow strong.